Hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Hillbilly Wine 101. And tonight I've got a wine that's going to be unique and in several categories. First off, it is made in Kentucky. I don't know if a lot of you have ever had a wine that is made in Kentucky. It is made from a North American grape called the Norton grape. I don't know if you all have ever had a wine made from the Norton grape. And it has a unique name and label. We're going to get to all that. Now, the Norton grape is a North American grape, native to North America. It's the actual state grape of Missouri. It's starting to be grown actually in California now. I saw a picture of a wine bottle made from that grape next to a 170-year-old vine. It was actually doing really well here as far as wine production and prohibition. Obviously couldn't sell wine, or a very limited amount of wine, and so a lot of it was pulled out and replaced with Concord grape to make juices and jellies. It's a shame, and now it's just being introduced again. Was it Rydell? Fancy wine glass company actually made a glass for this particular varietal, believe it or not, in 2009. So it's got a oh, and I think because I saw this, somebody said it, and that they held up a bottle or a glass of this dark red wine and said, this is what the Norton white wine looks like, and it was dark red, almost all juice from wine, grapes, from any grapes, are clear, and they get their color from being in contact with the skins. But there are a few grapes that actually have pink or red juice, which is not common. I think this is one of them. I have to confirm that. I did see that. I did see a winemaker say that, so I guess it's true. So if that is true, that is pretty cool. The largest claim in the world of this is at Chrysalis Vinyards in Middlesburg, Virginia. They have 62 acres or 28 hectares. Now, let's get to the what the heck am I talking about? Now, I said it would be unique grape because probably a lot of people haven't had that grape. And apparently that grape really takes on the terroir where it's grown. So Kentucky, it's going to taste a lot different than the same grape grown in Virginia, the same grape grown in Missouri. Okay. This is going to be from Horseshoe Bend Vineyard, which is in Williamsburg, Kentucky, and it is called Kong's Thong, and it's got a picture of King Kong on top of the Empire State Building in a red thong. Not kidding. Look at that. Look at that. Now, it is 12.4% ABV, alcohol by volume. They're saying that this is a dry wine that goes well with lamb, spicy fish tacos, spicy food, I guess, blue cheeseburgers, strong tasting cheese, meats, blackened gumbo, again spicy, pizza, barbecue, the usual suspects. It's supposed to have some different taste to it, and I have tasted it, this, because I want to get a, instead of opening it up, trying to figure it out real quick, I want to get a little head start on it, let it open up, let it breathe a little bit. This was $10.79. It's got the little Kentucky Proud label on it. So, you know, recently I started doing coffee reviews on Sundays. I do my wine reviews on Wednesday and Saturday, and then Sunday I do coffees now. And there couldn't have been a better designed glass for this channel than this one, right? Where I have the wine here, and when I do coffee reviews, I mean, you just can't beat it. So, It is a very, 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 very dark reddish black. Black cherry. How about that color? Can't see through it at all. So black cherry. This vineyard actually started in 2004. They have 2 locations now. One called Horseshoe Bend, and I think that's where they do most of the bottling and things like that. Then they have Jester's Winery, which is they have a restaurant there, and I'm not sure if it's open to the public all the time or if you have to make reservations. I looked online, I couldn't tell. The thing about this winery is they have some things that I want to check into. Okay, the wines they have, besides this Kong's THONG, they have a white, red, and a black Jester. Not sure any of the makeup or anything like that. They have a bourbon barrel white. They have a black tie cab. And the one that I really, really want to try, they have a bourbon barrel peach wine. And that I just think is going to be really good. And if I got to make a trip down here, I will. It's only about 35-40 minutes from my house. It's in the middle of bourbon country. So getting barrels for them is probably fairly easy. This is the first year, 2018, they started putting their wines in cans, which is a new trend, and I think it's pretty neat. And I'll tell you what's cool. They've been on several TV shows featured. 2.5 Men, The Big Bang Theory, Two Broke Girls, True Blood, and The Good Wife, believe it or not. And they are the official wine of the Catalina Film Festival and the Catalina Wine Mixer. So you know what movie that's from, right? It's got to be the Wine Mixer? Catalina Wine Mixer? Yeah, look it up. It's funny. So, let's get to business. Tell you, that is a different smell. It smells strong. It smells like a cherry liqueur. Cherry liqueur with cocoa. Maybe a cherry liqueur chocolate covered candy. When you open up the box, you smell it. It's a pleasant smell. I'm gonna tell you, when I opened this earlier and I first smelled it, it smelled very earthy, and it smelled like it had Brett in it, which is a taste that you get from certain bacteria that in a little bit, a lot of French wines have it, is preferable by a lot of people, but in too much it's a fault. But I don't smell it now. It had some barnyard, some earth. I don't smell any of that. All I smell now is the chocolate covered cherries. Which is odd that it would lose all that. Maybe not. Yeah, so that's it. Alright. That's different. It's got a very high acid taste. It's very acidic. It's very tannic. It's very sour. I would put that taste of this wine, I don't know if you've ever had it, but a very, well, like either a wild cherry or like a baking cherry, more of a tart cherry, or a raspberry that's not quite ripe. It's not green, but it's not sweet and ripe up. It's in the middle, and a raspberry that's almost ripe and not completely ripe will be very tart with some of that sweet flavor and the tartness. Yeah, either a very tart cherry or a very tart, not quite totally ripened raspberry. Very acidic, very tannic. I guess it's got, it's only 12 point, what did I say, 4% alcohol. Which isn't bad, light. But I think this might age for a while. I don't know, with all the tannin in here and acid and the dark color. I did read, and it gave a number, but didn't make, I probably wouldn't mean much to anybody. Apparently they measure the color of fruits. It's a chemical, and they have a number denoting how high that pigment is, and this was very high. So also that pigment is probably associated with some of the good antioxidants in wine. So there's another one called that I did a video on, American Grape, called well, one of the names of it is Scuppernong, because it was found along the Scuppernong River, I think in North Carolina. And I can't think of the off the top of my head the other name of it right now, but it was supposed to be really, really high in I mean, and even higher than normal in you know, good vitamins and minerals and you know, nutrients. And they have ways of measuring it. It was done in a lab, and it was full of antioxidants, and that's really the word I was looking for. So I don't know what it is about these North American grapes. They seem to be hardy and full of antioxidants. I don't know. It's good. So the wine's it's good. It's a little harsh. I mean, it's got some, you know, like I told you, it's the sour fruits, tannin and acidity. It would go really well with the food. Okay, to calm this down, it would complement. Man, I bet it would go with a nice pizza, pepperoni pizza, sausage, barbecue. Get some of that smoke, and maybe even some spicy food. And I think this would be a nice complement. What I like about it, for me, is that it's made in Kentucky. It's a North American grape. It's unique to a lot of people if you were to bring it somewhere or give it as a gift. And of course, you just can't beat that label and the name. But I really want to try the peach in a bourbon barrel. I think that's going to be really good. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I enjoyed reviewing it for you all. So hit the button and subscribe. And don't forget to watch my Sunday morning coffee reviews. I got some really very unique and interesting coffees that I'm doing, and I think it's a nice addition to the channel. It's something I love. I love wine, I love coffee, so I've combined them now. Alright, so from Hillbilly Wine 101, everybody, cheers. See that? An empty glass. And remember, if you're going to stain your tongue, do it with wine.